133,000 acres available to us. I started out in 95 within the Sabi Valley, and I'm a fourth generation hunter in Africa, in Zimbabwe. Yeah, it's been quite a privilege to see the area grow to where it is today.
I've had the good fortune of hunting with Donza on 3 separate occasions, and have had good luck with plains game, and I've gotten a Cape buffalo each of the previous hunts, and the objective for this hunt is to see if we can get a bull elephant, and that's what my license is for, is a trophy quality elephant. They only have, I think he only has 2 licenses per year, and I'm fortunate enough to have one of those licenses. And generally we're looking for an animal, I think legally it's 25 pounds per tusk, but we'd like to get something in 50-pound range if we're fortunate or lucky. We've seen a variety of wildlife here, everything from zebras to blue wildebeest. We've had a fun time just in the process of hunting. I've only taken 1 shot, and that was a sighting in shot so far with a rifle. But we've had a great time just seeing the variety of wildlife here. In the mornings, we're usually pretty bundled up, and particularly when you're riding up top on the safari rig, and Donza puts down the hammer with the gas pedal, we're all freezing. But by midday, we're peeling off all the clothes, and it's very pleasant, 70s, and very nice. So we have a large herd of elephant, possibly 300 or so, that are coming up this gully, and we're trying to see if there's a good bull in the herd, and if so, we're going to try to make a play on him. We surveyed the elephant herd, and unfortunately there were no older bulls. There were a couple younger bulls, but nothing that we wanted to harvest. But it was pretty exciting to get so close to the elephant and hear him trumpet, and they kind of charged in front of us at one point, and that was pretty neat.
So before the Sabi Valley Conservancy started, it was a huge cattle ranch. At that stage, it was just over 1 million acres. The landowner, the rancher, could see that wildlife and cattle ranching don't work hand in hand. They're competitive with the grazing. So one of the species had to go, and that was obviously wildlife. And then in 92, 93, we had a severe drought, which basically killed a lot of the cattle. And the landowner at the time realized that there was no future in cattle farm ranching in the Sabi Valley. So he decided to sell various properties that he owned. And a lot of operators started buying up these areas. What you got to understand is all the elephant, the dangerous game, everything was shot out in this area. That didn't exist. There were no giraffe. There were a few impala running around. A few kudu, a few zebra, that was it. Yeah, so we bought in 800 buffalo. We delivered 600 elephant, and obviously giraffe and warthog and lion, and all these species have been reintroduced over the years up until 98, 99. Since then, it's obviously the populations have been booming within their own capacities. Today you're looking at the elephant is over 4,500 elephant in the Sabi Valley. Buffalo herds are pretty much the same, up around 5,000. Giraffe populations are doing very well, and generally throughout all the other plains game.
These animals are awesome. Why do you want to hunt them? And it's a difficult question to answer because I love elephants, but there is a need to hunt them, and that's the problem. Too many elephants are not good for the overall environment, for the fauna. They are huge destroyers of fauna, and that obviously has secondary and knock-on effects to the habitats of smaller game. since man has taken over large portions of their natural habitat and they can't have any natural migration routes anymore. So since we've confined all these animals to a finite space, and we have to manage the numbers.
Elephants are very, very destructive. An area can only hold a certain amount of elephant, obviously, and I'll give you a perfect example. There's a national park to our south, the south of the Sowe Valley, and it's a national park by the name of Conservancy. The carrying capacity of Conservancy National Park is 2,500 elephant. There's over 14,000 elephants in Conservancy National Park today. And even they themselves are starting to think, how are we going to protect the habitat of the park? Because now all of a sudden, you got baobabs that are 2,000-3,000 years old. Late season, there's no more food for these elephants, so the elephants are starting to damage these ancient trees. And that in itself is a direct sign. There are more elephant in that area today than there has ever been. There's a big problem there, and you can't translocate 11,500, 12,000 elephant. You can't cull 12,000 elephant. It'll take you a lifetime. We're still hunting our quotas. The elephant that we get on quota, which is a scientific-based quota that we're allowed to take off every year, is way under damaging to the populations. And that is why there's over 4,500 elephant here today.
Hunting comprises about 75% of the revenue generated to maintain these conservancies. Another about 7% is generated through meat sales, through the animals that are harvested. None of the meat goes to waste. We consume some in camp. A great deal of it goes to local villages, particularly elephant. We'll feed a whole village. Nothing goes to waste, and the money that's paid for an elephant tag goes into anti-poaching patrol and preserving this special place.
Within my general staff, I employ a total of 68 people, which end up supporting over 700 people within those families. So it's quite a responsibility. I've got another 2 full-time PHs that work with me. I'm obviously active with professional hunting all the time. And out of the 68 general staff, we've got 38 active anti-poaching rangers, and all they do is all day long is doing anti-poaching exercises, patrols. The main problem we've got here is meat poachers. And it doesn't matter what area you go to in Africa, every area is getting poached, and you have to maintain this. The balance of the staff, obviously we've got another 9 guys within the safari camp here, including the skinners. That will be the chefs, to the guys that clean the rooms, and labour force that fix roads and clear roads and do water reticulation. That we pump to a lot of water holes, which you have to because this area is so dry and barren. If we didn't pump, the game wouldn't be here. End of story. Every professional hunter needs a tracker like Booker. He's been with me since 1995. We work extremely well together. He's a close friend of mine. And you must understand that he was a poacher. And because he was such a good damn poacher, I decided to employ him, which gave him a value for his life. He wasn't hiding from the law every 5 minutes and ducking and diving and seeing what sort of extra income he could make. He joined me on hunting safaris, and he can look after his family within the legal walls of the country. If a hunter wounds an animal, he can always track him. Tracking elephant, tracking buffalo before you even get to see them. I mean, it's quite an art. It's quite an art that these guys that they do, and they're fantastic about it.
Yeah, tracking is a good job. Yeah, and I really love it. I like it. Yeah.
I'm the driver. I'm also a tracker. Yes, I started trekking before I started driving. And Booker, Andrew, the whole crew, yeah, we work as a team, so that all our job we do it together. Sure.
If we found an elephant bull track this morning, the first thing that we'll have a look at is to see how old it is.
Well, you look at the size of the track, You look at the deepness of the fissures as indicative of the age, the width of the fissures, and the wear pattern on the heel. And those are basically the characteristics of an older bull.
The definedness of the cracks in the foot on the ground. And if those are still sharp, then we know he's within 2-3 hours. Because normally, naturally, just with a slight breeze, they start crumbling. So that's one sign. And then obviously another sign that you find as soon as he's started feeding on a bush, you feel the bark. Is it dry? Is it still damp? You get up to the dung, you open that up. Is it warm? Is it ice cold? You know, so there's all these factors that we look at to try and work out the rough time that these animals have walked.
So my favorite hunt would be the elephant hunt. There's a lot that goes into elephant hunting, you know, starting off with finding the right track, a fresh track, so that you've given yourself enough time to be able to catch up with the elephant. And then the best part of the hunt for me is once you actually get up onto the elephant, just being up close to these animals. They're magnificent animals, they're so smart, they're just brilliant animals to be around. Get really close to the animal, within 25 yards, give yourself the best chance to make a clean, ethical kill. And just being that close to elephants and in and around elephants all day is what makes it the best hunt for me.
That was cool. Got in close and got to see some elephants drinking and got to pick out the correct shots, but not old enough, so we're going to keep looking.
Yeah, at the moment we are now on my personal second attempt with Al Weinhardt, and I believe I've got good luck, otherwise I wouldn't be a professional hunter. But I don't know what's going on, but we're not seeing the big bulls that we should be seeing, the volumes of elephant that we should be. We've been doing a lot of mileage. We've walked a fair amount, but nowhere close to what we should be. And we've got 2.5 days left, and I just hope we connect.
Right here, the cow elephant actually bent the heavy gauge steel roll bar and left some of her hide on the cage. This is the truck of one of the other hunters in camp. So this is what can happen when an elephant doesn't really like you. The day before we got into camp, they saw a herd of elephant, and a cow elephant came out of the woods that they hadn't seen and charged their truck. But the cow elephant put her tusks, this is a replacement door, but put her tusks through the window, crushed in the door, and then put her tusks into the hood here and here, and proceeded to lift the whole truck up to the point where they thought it was going to tip the truck over. And in a minute, the cow elephant, she turned around and walked away.
We saw one decent bull track, Bigfoot, and we started tracking him, and he eventually joined up with another bull, and then those two bulls joined up with a herd. And the wind was all over the place, so it was a bit of a mission getting up to those elephants. But eventually we tracked them for, I think it was just over an hour, and we got up to them, and because of the wind, there was one sort of window that we could stand at and try and enter. We saw the two bulls, and the one was around 25, 27 pounds, wasn't quite big enough. But also, he was still young. He wasn't an old bull. So we carried on about another 200 yards and tried to look at the elephant from a different angle. It was very thick, so it was very hard to see the elephant. And then next minute, the elephant decided to head our way. And so we had to sort of vacate the area pretty rapidly because of obviously the cows, they got calves with them, and you don't want to get too close to the elephant with youngsters around.
Go, keep it open.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to charge and they're going to come, and they're not going to stop. So for safety reasons, we ran away, and then they came up to us again, and we had to get out again.
Those cows smelled us and they didn't like it, huh? They get aggressive.
I will not scare. I will not scare. Yeah, because it's my job. Yeah.
Cows made our decision for us because they charged us, so we had to get out of there.
If an elephant gets you with a trunk, he'll probably use you like a baseball bat. They normally pick you up by the leg and slam you on the ground or against a tree. Your body will explode, and it won't stop there. He'll stand on you, he'll rip you to pieces. It's not a pretty sight. Well, right now we're on day 9.5, 10. It's the chances aren't looking too good right now, but you know, these elephants, they do huge mileage every day. They move a lot at night, so the game could change overnight. I mean, from one day to the next, it would be 500, 600, 800 elephant on the property. So that's what we've got to hope for, and see what happens the next 2 days.
I'm a professional tree climbing. I'm a trekker.
We've located 3 bulls and we think one is a shooter, so we're going to make a play on it. Yeah, today is the last hunting day. I think it's the 12th day or 13th day, I guess. Yeah, 13th day. We've tracked an elephant, a bull, for quite a ways, but there's another bull that came through here, and so we're trying to sort out which bull is which. And unfortunately, the ground is really hard, so it's difficult. And we've got about 2.5 hours of daylight left before we will be able to track.
Following this bull for the better half of 2 hours this afternoon. He has a very unique identifying signature in his track. In the middle of his back left foot, he's got a circular sort of patch right in the center. This is what we used to identify him and make sure that we were on this bull's track and not any other bull.
Feet are very soft, and if they get on hard ground, they don't leave any impression. They're also extremely quiet, and they're smart.
Perfect, beautiful, well done. Come.
Holy smokes, Donza.
Good measure.
Way to stretch it out, man. Holy cow. Woo, Buka.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you, man. Andrew, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Holy smokes, talk about stretching it out.
Luck.
Whew. We needed him to break that branch. That's what it was. Just look at the size of these feet. Oh my goodness. Look how spongy they are. Why they're so quiet. This is the conclusion of a fantastic elephant hunt with Desfontaine Safaris. It was a long time in coming. This is the 13th day. We've had multiple encounters, multiple stalks, but just didn't find the right elephant until the last few hours of the last day. And everything came together pretty quick. I took a frontal brain shot and he went right down. So it was a very humane and very good ending to a long and fun, rewarding safari.